Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of a Blip Pod. This is kind of a short news snippet on one topic. I'm Nolan,
And I'm Joey.
and we shall cue the theme music. Oh, I'm glad I'm going to have a recording of that. I can make it my ringtone. Today we're talking about a couple rumors that have come out about the Batman trilogy.
Yes, we get more and more news like every week about this movie.
Okay, so I got a couple things. First off, it's not officially a trilogy yet. Matt Reeves has written multiple films, or has planned out multiple films. Robert Pattinson is signed on for multiple films. But the studio, Warner Bros. Itself, is going to wait out to see the reception of the first one before greenlighting it, which is a smart idea.
Yeah, especially with the feedback they got about the Ben Affleck Batman. I think they are being more precautious since it seems like not many people liked him as Batman. So I definitely understand them doing that, and it is a smart idea on their end.
I don't know. So apparently this is officially, unofficially, I don't know where we stand on this. Varying sources. This is not in the DCEU, which makes me sad.
To be honest, I'm actually kind of happy it's not part of the DCEU because what it seems like for their idea and what they're doing for it, it seems like it will be like a really good individual Batman film. And the DCEU is kind of all scrambled right now, and they already had a Batman in there. And if they make this part of the DCEU, I feel like it would kind of mess it up a bit and make even more confusion. So having this as its own and just doing a trilogy like the Dark Knight trilogy, I think will benefit them a lot more, and I would probably enjoy it more like that.
I do wonder if it's going to be this trilogy's good, then they roll it into, because apparently this takes place in like the 90s, early 2000s. I wonder if they'll be like, oh yes, this is a prequel to Justice League, and retroactively they'll just add Robert Pattinson in as just a replacement for Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I guess they are planning to do that because they want to see if they like it. They don't want to just come out and say, yeah, this is part of the DCEU, then people not like it, and then they're kind of screwed.
Here's the thing, and I know this is your biggest complaint with DCEU, you said this before. Why the heck didn't they do, solo movie? And it makes sense because Wonder Woman, critically acclaimed, made a ton of money. Aquaman made more money than you'd ever expect. Shazam, everybody loved. So if they had just done a bunch of like good solo movies and then Justice League, obviously we're kind of beating a dead horse here, it would have been so much better. So I see why they would kind of hold off. A couple other things. I'm going to ask you where you stand on this. Joker is, if the trilogy goes forward, Joker will appear. And they're going to be officially, or rumored from very official sources, he will be referenced in the first movie so that if they bring him in the second movie, it won't feel shooting.
But did you say they were recasting, or is it Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
It's officially, if they said, if they do bring in Joker, which is still a rumor, it will be a recast.
See, that's what I don't like. You have a movie like Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, which was amazing, and he did an amazing part for it, and then you're just going to recast somebody else to do it? Like, I feel like you literally have a star right there that you're making so much money off of. If you throw him into that movie with the Batman, that's even more money that you'll get because you just established this amazing character with this amazing actor, and he pulled it off great. And then you're just going to kind of throw it down the toilet. Unless they are planning their own Joker trilogy on his own. And that's why they want to have a different Joker, because they don't want them to cross over.
Yes.
But I don't know why they want to do that, though, if they referenced and had Batman literally in the Joker movie.
Here's my thought. My guess is it's going to be very similar to the DCEU. That if they're not gonna connect anything yet. But if everything gets well received, they'll merge it. Because DC is infamous for having 100 different versions of every single character. They could easily make Justice League 2 Crisis on Infinite Earths or some sort of crisis event. Every universe collapses in on each other, and then it's Joaquin Phoenix Joker versus Robert Pattinson Batman, who replaces Ben Affleck Batman with Henry Cavill. Like, that's literally every 10 years the DC universe does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know, I forget if I said this on a podcast or I just said this to you on the side when we were talking before, how I didn't want the Joker or the new Batman to be part of the DCU.
Yes.
I actually kind of want to have their own universe, like have a Batman universe with just strictly Batman and Batman characters, and have the Joker is the first one of the universe, and then the next one is the Batman solo one, and then have the third movie. And, like, you have the Joker being referenced in that and kind of just him starting up to be Batman because of what happened from when he was a kid, because of the Joker. And then the third one, you have a crossover with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and Robert Pattinson's Batman. And then you kind of just build a universe off of that that's just strictly a Batverse.
I think that my guess is after the whole Justice League fiasco, that might be the way that they go. Also, they don't seem to care much as about continuity as Marvel, which I think honestly is one of their strengths. Because DC is not Marvel. They've been making that mistake for years. They need a separate plan. And if they just keep making good standalone stuff and don't bring it together, people will like it. If they eventually bring it together, good for them. Like that, obviously, if they eventually, in 5 years, make a Justice League movie with Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill, Robert Pattinson's Batman, and a bunch of stuff, obviously, it's going to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if
I just think that they just need to announce what they are doing, because, yeah, you say it is a strength that it doesn't seem like continuity is what they're focusing on, but it also could be a weakness without fans knowing what they're doing. So they need to, like, announce what their plan is if they are doing universe, if they're not, because with everyone loving Marvel, it's continuity, and that's how we're viewing these universes. So then we're trying to view it the same way as Marvel, and fans are getting confused because it doesn't seem like the continuity is that great. So if they just announce what they're doing, then fans could be like, okay, now I know not to worry about that, like we do with Marvel, and they could view it a lot better than they are right now.
And you know what I think the biggest indicator of that was Birds of Prey. Because, I mean, we saw that movie. We generally liked that movie. Had a couple flaws, but overall, very great film. Everyone in it was good. But also, it came out right after the Joker, and you didn't know what was going on with Batman, and it referenced, like, both the Suicide Squad, the DCEU, but also other things. So, even watching, before the movie and watching the movie, you're kind of like, I have no idea the world this is in.
I feel like it's kind of going through the same phase that Marvel is with Sony. How we don't know what's going on with their Sony Spider-Man, and if it's crossing over with MCU. We're kind of like in that phase where, like, it could possibly be doing that, or it might not, and they're just allowing references. And that's kind of what it seems like DC is stuck in the middle, except they never established anything from the start.
No, the difference with the Marvel-Sony thing is that both Marvel and Sony, and I know Sony have had their misfires, but they both generally make good content. Like, regardless of how you think Venom was, it's not a bad movie. It made a crap ton of money. Into the Spider-Verse is a fantastic film.
100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yes. So in my head, I was about to say Spider-Man 3, and I thought I had said it out loud, and then I thought you said 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and my brain went, there's no way in the ever-living hell that Spider-Man 3 has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. If there is ever...
multiverse, it might...
Dude, imagine some weird universe where, like, Spider-Man 3 is a critically acclaimed film. Oh my...
They'll have all the worst movies in the world are actually the best, like Cats, you know?
Or,
they're actually in different universes, they're the best movies in the world, and Star Wars is like the worst thing to ever happen.
Dude, like when you go to the Oscars, it's like, and now our awards for Cats for best visual effects, Batman and Robin for best writing and directing. I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, that would make me Deadpool if I got such a universe. Okay, this is going to be a short episode. We'll still wrap it up with some other things. A couple other things. Bane has been rumored to also appear in the trilogy, but there are rumors that currently DC is getting pitched a Bane solo film in the style of Joker. I think that's.
I think I like the. I kind of like having. I would like if they just had a universe as just solo films of of all the villains, and then they kind of just clash together.
Here's the thing. That works for the Joker. That sort of works for like a Mr. Freeze or like a Calendar Man. Nah, I guess not so. But for Bane, I don't like if you strip away Batman and you strip away the fighting Batman and all that stuff. He's basically just a dude on roids. I don't know how much of a movie you can make out of that.
Also, that's also could be a strength for them because with all these other characters, you know so much about them. They have a lot of character and there's a lot of content from comics and stuff, and people know a lot of stuff. But now, this could be super original. Could be one of those movies where they just kind of throw stuff out and humanize the character, and you're watching the movie like, wow, I never looked at Bane this way, or they throw something new like, wow, this is something new about Bane, like that's actually cool, and I actually like this character even more. So they do go down that, they have a lot of opportunities to do with that if they do, you know, and not just like, oh, we already know what happens with Joker.
That's the one thing. Bane is, I think, one of top 3 favorite Batman villains. But I think the difference is, you are correct. If you do a humanizing movie, you could easily do that, especially with Bane's backstory. Super cool. The problem is, I feel like if they introduce Batman as the antagonist, that would work better than no Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he is rumored a different version than Bane, not that solo movie, but a different version of Bane is rumored to be in Matt Reeves' Trilogy. Also rumored to be into it. In addition to the confirmed Carmine Falcone, Catwoman, and the Penguin, rumors that Mr. Freeze might eventually show up. That would be cool. If you want more Mr. Freeze content, go check out our video that should be up soon on 1997's Batman and Robin. Dude. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. I don't know. Oh, and the Riddler. Sorry, the Riddler is confirmed. That's Matt Dano. I'm excited for this movie.
Jim Carrey.
Dude, when we get to that movie, I think I dislike part of that movie more than I dislike Batman and Robin, just because it's Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, both of whom are good actors. But I'm excited for this. I have no idea what's happening with this, but again, I've said this before, I'll watch anything Batman related.
Of course.
I think Robert Pattinson, we've talked about this on at least 3 episodes, and this has been beaten to death. I think Robert Pattinson was, all in all, a good choice. I think he kind of can sell that kind of young playboy sort of deal, but he can also do kind of a little more gritty and gruff. I think, for anyone who wants to get into comics, if they did kind of like a Batman 0 year sort of thing where it's like his first year as Batman and he's fighting all these villains, that'd be cool. I did hear that it's going to rumored to be The Long Halloween, which is this comic where it takes place over a year and it slowly builds up to the creation of Two-Face, and every couple months he has to deal with different villains and Calendar Man. That is an amazing comic that actually I recommend you read, or there's like an audio drama version of it, you can listen to it, but I hope that it's that. I don't know, do you have any other things to say on this?
No, just basically looking forward to it, and every single bit of news that pops up for this movie gets me more and more excited.
We are living, and people mention this, I think 2020 is a hellhole, but the one good thing it's doing is it's giving us a lot of good, it's getting me hyped for a lot of good future content.
Things to look forward to.
Yeah,
times might be tough now, but there could be good in the future.
There is. I mean, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 just officially went into production. Bill and Ted 3, which I'm a huge fan of. They just got a trailer today that looks hilarious. Just a bunch of fun, cool stuff that's happening.
Yeah. That
I'm just hoping that will not get canceled. And please, dear God, don't all suck. Without further ado, I think that is all I got to say on this matter. Do you got anything else, dude?
That's all.
In that case, check us out at The Blip Pod on everything you can think of. except for Tinder. I don't know. Did anyone ever make us a Tinder?
Yeah, we should make a Blip Pod Tinder.
We can make a Blip
Just
Pod
trying to recruit nerds on Tinder for our audience.
We're,
If you like nerdy podcasts,
we're so. Hey, I saw you there. Very sexy. Oh, what do you like? I like the Blip Podcast, a podcast that talks about why are we catfishing people? Oh dear Lord. Have you heard of Catwoman? Well, we're a catfish for the nerdy Blip Pod.
Oh jeez, we would get reported.
Oh my God, we would. Regardless, check us out on every bit of social media you can think of. We got an Instagram that has comic book, TV, and news updates all the time. Every little bit of new news, and all of our projects are posted on there. We got a Facebook, we got a Twitter. Check us out on The Blip Podcast on YouTube and The Blip Bros. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon.
Also TikTok.
And TikTok, we have a TikTok now. It's just going to be kind of promoting our stuff. But we also, Mr. Harris over here has a TikTok in which you post awesome content. What is it, Joey Harris
68.
68. Why do I always think it's 48, but it's not 48. Another news.
2168.
I got really bored and looked up your name in the Marvel Wikipedia, and Joey Harris is a kid in Amazing Hulk 420 who has AIDS. That's what I just did. So my apologies about that. I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry.
I think that's gonna be one of my new TikToks.
You're also the guy who created a bunch of comic book characters and wrote the X-Men and the Amazing Spider-Man for years. So kudos to you on both being a famous Marvel writer and a kid with AIDS.
Awesome.
Without further ado, thank you for listening in. As always, as we always say in this podcast, stay nerdy.
And positive.
And check in with us later. Hasta la vista.
Peace.